Today it's Pork Butt 101. We're going through the basics of pork butt. Now, let y'all know, the pork butt is not on the butt. It's up on the shoulder. It's part of the shoulder. You'll hear some people say we're going to cook a pork shoulder. When you cook the Boston butt, you're only cooking half of it. The picnic ham is the other half of that shoulder. But we have two Boston butts here today. Very nice. Wife picked these up just yesterday. And we're going to try to just do the basics on these, show you the ins and outs of doing a pork butt. It's not a competition pork butt. This is how to make a great pork butt in your backyard for your friends, for your family. So hey, if you want to see how to smoke a pork butt, how to barbecue a pork butt, stick around and we'll show you how it's done today. I am Chef Johnny, and this is Texas Style Cuisine, and I guess we can call this Pork 101 because it's going to be like a course, and I do teach culinary arts, and I do train a lot of people in the art of barbecue. And so, folks, we are going to take these pork butts, and we're going to transform them into pulled pork. Now, if you wanted a sliced pork, you'd pull them off about that 185, 190 mark. We're going to take these on up close to 200, get them where they are falling off the bone type tender, and we're going to be able to shred these for some fantastic pulled pork. So let's get started. Y'all come in close and you're going to find out how to do it. Now, this actually has two butts in it. One's here, one's here. So we're going to take out the smaller one. I'm cooking it today. I'm going to save this bigger one. So I'm going to take our package and I'm going to open it from the opposite end. So I got some plastic to wrap over this other end. And before I get all messy, I'm going to put on a pair of gloves here. Now, they don't always come two to a pack, but a lot of times they do. When I get them at Restaurant Depot, they are packed two in a package. Let me get this in the cooler, and then we'll show you how to season this one up. You know, you never like it when you have things like that. That doesn't always work great, but I don't pull a whole lot off of my pork butts. Anything loose hanging, if you wanted to take this fat cap off, you could, but actually that's going to help protect it today. We're cooking it in the barrel house cooker down on the rack, so we're going to put this fat side down. But overall, this looks pretty nice. I'm just going to take a paper towel and kind of pat it dry a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to slather this down with mustard. I like to use mustard as a binder, and you know, pork really is pretty sticky, these pork butts, so I don't know how that's going to cook. That may just burn up, but I'm going to leave it on there. I'm not going to take it off today. Take my mustard. Doesn't take a whole lot. You just kind of put a couple of streaks on each side. It'll be good. And I don't think I even need to put one on the small side here. I think I'm going to have enough up on top, but going like this right here. That's really going to help this seasoning that we're cooking with today just really stick real well to this. And I've got some new seasonings y'all have never seen me use before. It's my first time. And that is from LC Barbecue, Lucky Charms, right? Phil Breeden sent me over some of his products, some of his injections and his seasonings. I have used some of his injections before. Take off this one glove. First thing we're going to put on is right here. This is his rawhide. It's an all-purpose. I like it really good. It's got some good taste to it. I've just tasted it is all. I haven't tried it on anything yet, but I'm going to put this as a base layer. Go ahead and go all the way around with it. So there we go. Base layer rawhide. And then we're going to do his certified. All right. LC Barbecue Certified. This has got a nice sweetness to it, and I like a sweet rub on my pork. We're going to coat it good, and again, this is a great big piece of meat, folks, so it will hold a lot of seasoning. But this has got sugar. I think it's also got brown sugar. That color is paprika. Now all we have left to do is the top, and before I get the top, I'm just going to kind of try to blot up some of this other seasoning that's dropped on the board so it doesn't go to waste. Back here on the money muscle, I'm going to put a nice coating of it. Then I'm going to come right here. And I guess I'm going to season both sides of that flap. Now I'm getting a nice coat of this Lucky Charms LC barbecue rub on there. Folks, if you're interested in this, you can look him up on Facebook. I'll put a link below. But he sells his products off of Facebook. And also, if you put in CJ for Chef Johnny 10, he's going to give you a 10% discount on his rubs, on his injections, I guess anything on there. But 10% discount for putting in the code CJ10. So y'all make sure y'all do that. But this is the way I season mine. I'm not going to inject it today. You can still get a nice moist butt without injection. Let's cover this. Let's let it rest a little while, and then we're going to get it on that barrel house cooker. Barrel house is right at 280 degrees. Great time to put this on. Pick that up. Take our pork butt, fat side down. Not hanging it today. We're putting it on the rack. Lid's back on. We're going to see y'all probably about 4 hours. Might be time to wrap it by then. And remember, I wrap to color, not necessarily to temperature. This pork butt's getting really close to wrapping time. But we're going to open it up here. See if we can let y'all see it. Oh yeah, I'm liking the color. Been spritzing this about every hour just to keep it moist up on top. It still is pretty moist. And this is just a water spritz. If you can use apple juice, apple cider vinegar, any type of fruit juice for that sweetness, but you got a better chance of burning when you get a lot of sugar on it also. So got to be careful. But that's looking good. I'm liking the color. So here in just a few minutes, I'm going to pull this and I'm going to get some foil. We're going to pull this and we're going to wrap it. Here. And lid's off. Grab that pork butt. Oh man, look at that. Now, right now, you can put a lot of things on there. A lot of times we use Dr. Pepper. Don't have any Dr. Peppers today. So I'm just going to spritz it real good. Again, apple juice, apple cider vinegar. Very often I use 50-50 Dr. Pepper and apple juice. Just want to have some good moisture in here with it. Thing you have to be careful with here is don't let the bones puncture your foil. Now, can you use paper? Sure you can. I like using foil. It keeps in that moisture. It's also going to render out some au jus, and we can save that if we use foil. If you use paper, you lose that option. Wrap this up real nice and tight. And also, folks, some people will gripe about the bark being soft or start getting mushy from the steam. Tell you what, all you have to do is in your cook time, save a little time for putting it back on the pit unwrapped. And so that's what I always do. I always say, all right, I'm going to save a little time at the end where I can unwrap it, let it sit on there, and it'll firm that bark right back up. So there it is. We're about 5 hours in. I'm thinking 2, maybe 3. We're going to be ready. So that's ready to go. Let's get it back on the pit. So here we go. Lid's off. Wrap pork butts back in there. Put our wire in because it's coming through our air vent is where I have our wires running through. So it's on. Little piece of pulled pork there. Get that off. It's ready to go. We'll see as soon as this hits about 200 degrees. I'm going to probe it, see if it's good. May take it up to 205, but we're going to check it at 200. My probe's telling me that it's 203. So we're going to check this real quick and see if it's ready to get off there. It's going to feel, oh yeah, just like a hot knife into butter. This pork butt's ready. We're getting it off. Anytime when you pull one off, you don't want to just sit it in there wrapped, because what happens is it's going to keep cooking. So you always want to, I call it burping it. We're going to open this up and we're going to let some of this steam out. If we want to firm up our bark some, we can sit it back on there. Ooh, and this is full of juice. Look at that. Man. This one is beautiful. Boy, this end's real tender up here. Could use a little bit more maybe. I bet you I could. Yeah, that bone would come right out of there. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna let this cool. I'm just gonna tin it, let it cool. Once it cools down some, I'm gonna set it back onto that pit, and I'm just gonna let it set my bark a little bit and dry my bark up. And then we'll pull it back off, let it rest for about an hour, and it'll be ready to sample. Had this back on there about 15, 20 minutes, so we're gonna look at it. Oh yeah, set that bark, looks nice. I bet you can see that is very, very pretty. So, move it right here. That is soft, soft, soft. See if I can get it on this tray. Oh, look at that. Coming apart as I bring it over. And folks, that au jus that's in that foil, do not get rid of it. Turn this here where y'all can see everything, but y'all can see it was coming apart when I moved it. Let's just, right here. Look at that bone. We know that this pork butt is tender. And it's not injected. And look at that moisture flowing through it. If I want to, just look at this. It's just gonna break apart. Lovely. Lovely pulled pork. Well, folks, there you have it. A beautiful, beautiful pork butt. Easy. Hey, pork's easy to start with. If you're scared about doing a brisket, do a pork butt first. There's a lot of fat in there. There's a little more room for error than there is in that brisket. But I think if you watch my Brisket 101, I think that's what I'm gonna put the title of it, is How to Cook a Brisket, Brisket 101, something like that. But look for it. I'm gonna be cooking it in my new Ugly Drum smoker. It may already be out when this one does. I've filmed them at the same time, so I'm not sure which one I'll put out first. We're gonna look and see, but this pulled pork, if you take it, just look, it'll pull off of there, guys. It is wonderful. Flavor. Right here, guys. LC Barbecue, Philip Breeden, thanks a lot for this. I've never used your rub before, but I promise you this, I'm gonna be using them a lot in the future. These are excellent. Put the rawhide on bottom, came back with the certified on top. Gave it a nice sweetness on our pulled pork. The bark is beautiful. And again, I just can't say enough. Enjoyed this rub. That Fogo charcoal, the brisket and this are my first two long cooks with it. And I tell you what, folks, there's a great flavor on here. I added just a little bit of oak to go with it. But it's long burning, it's clean burning. I think it's one of those charcoals that, lump charcoals that you need to add a little wood too to get enough smoke out of them, because it burns very, very clean. I had a nice smoke coming out of there all day long, and I just can't say enough about this pulled pork. A great pork flavor, nice smoke added on top of it, and with the rawhide and the certified came back on top. Clean bone, pulled out all the way. It's just great all the way around. Look down below, I'm gonna give you some links. The LC Barbecue is on Facebook. I'll put a link for that. And remember, CJ10 will get you 10% discount from LC Barbecue. So sometimes I'm worth just a little bit, but hey, give that a try. Try out Fogo Charcoal. They're fantastic. And folks, tell them Chef Johnny sent you over there, so they hear my name once in a while. Appreciate that. They didn't pay me for this video, but I tell you what, I do like that charcoal. It cooked fantastically. And I said about all I can say, I guess. So thanks for stopping by. Always do appreciate it. You want to learn how to barbecue? You're in the right place. Texas style barbecue and cuisine. You want to learn how to make great Mexican food? You're still in the right place. Or jump on and do some Dutch oven cooking with me. I've got all those videos available. So look through my playlist. Hey, share them with your friends and family. Share us on your social media, and we're going to see you down the road on Texas style barbecue and cuisine. Goodbye, everybody.
How them boys put food away beats all I've ever seen.